Hello, hello, hello. All right. Back to another episode. Let's shut this down and get things moving. Hope everybody's doing well today. Welcome back to another episode of Shoot the Hoot Raw. Hope everybody's doing well. If you're watching this from a beach, an airport, or an hotel room, this one's for you. Because today's topic is simple. You're on vacation, but the hackers aren't. You might be unplugging, but your devices aren't. And while you're checking in, getting to the Wi-Fi, posting that finally here photo, attackers are watching for one thing, a quick decision, a fast click, and one where you're not thinking about security. Because travel doesn't remove risk, it just moves it a little bit out of the office and into the old pocket, right? Your laptop, your hotel room, your beach towel. So today we're breaking down how to stay secure while traveling without turning your vacation into a full-time job. So let's get into it. Here's what we've got on deck for you today. And yes, this one might ruin your vacation just a little bit, but not too bad, I promise. First up, our 5-minute rant. You're on vacation, but the hackers aren't. You might be off the clock, but they're definitely not. We're talking airport Wi-Fi, hotel rooms, charging stations, and all those quick, no big deal moments that turn into very, very big deals. Then our cyber nerd update, cleaner data, smoother experience. Nothing flashy this week, just the kind of fixes that make everything feel better. Less weirdness, more reliability, and stuff working the way it should. After that, our open mic Q&A, travel smart and stay secure. We're hitting the real questions. Is public Wi-Fi ever safe? Do you actually need a VPN? Should you just trust that hotel room with your laptop? Short answer, we'll get into it. All right, and finally, our hoot-worthy horror story, Marriott 2018, checked in and completely exposed. 500 million guests. Not 500 guests, 500 million guests. Years inside the system, no phishing, no malware, just business as usual. And yeah, this one hits a little bit different. So buckle up because by the end of this episode, you might not look at free Wi-Fi ever again in the same way. Let's start with a little truth bomb. Vacation mode is vulnerability mode because when you're on vacation, you're not thinking about security. I don't know about you, but when I'm on vacation, it's like I'm thinking, where's our gate? My wife is thinking, did I remember sunscreen or am I about to learn a painful lesson? And we're both thinking, where's my drink? Neither of us are actually thinking about cybersecurity. Meanwhile, you're doing things you would never do at home, right? Connecting to random Wi-Fi, logging into important accounts, using whatever device is closest, all in the places where security is. Well, let's just call it hope for the best. And here's the problem. Attackers love travelers because you're relaxed, you're distracted, maybe a little woozy, tipsy, and way more likely to click first and think later. In fact, travel hotspots like airports and hotels are some of the most targeted environments to cyber attacks. Why? Because it's a target-rich environment. All the peeps are there. It's full of people who just want to get online quickly. So while you're in vacation mode, attackers are still in work mode. And the more relaxed you are, the easier you are to catch off guard. That's the game, folks. That's the game. So let's talk about public Wi-Fi because this one, it just refuses to die. We all know it, we've all heard it, and then we all immediately ignore it. Yeah, public Wi-Fi is risky, connect anyway, right? Because it's everywhere, airport, hotel, coffee shop. But let's be honest, if your phone says no service, you're going to connect to this first thing, even if it's named definitely not a hacker Wi-Fi, right? We got it online. Here's the problem. You don't control the network. You don't know who built it or who's watching it, more importantly. Attackers can create fake networks, intercept your traffic, and capture logins, always staying 20 feet away, pretending to check their email and sipping on their latte. And here's where it gets ridiculous. You might connect to the airport free Wi-Fi instead of the real one, which is airport Wi-Fi. So just one extra word, one quick click, and just like that, you're sharing your data with someone who definitely does not work for the airport. This is a problem. Here's something to think about. Think about this. A large percentage of public Wi-Fi networks have little to no encryption. Hear that? Little to no encryption, which is a fancy way of saying, good luck out there. It's kind of the equivalent of saying, no lifeguard on duty, swim at your own risk. But what they don't tell you is there's sharks out there in them waters, right? Yeah, convenience is great. We all want fast internet, of course, but blind trust, that's where things go sideways. Because on public Wi-Fi, you're not just connected, you're exposed. So let's talk about the stuff people really don't think about, like charging stations and your laptop. So you're at the airport, your phone is at 3%. Oh no, right? Your options are find power or accept your fate. So you see a free USB port. store, and suddenly it's, yep, this is happening. But here's the part most people don't know. The FBI actually warned about public USB charging stations. Why? Because in some cases, they can be used for something called juice jacking. Yep, juice jacking. I know a little different than a juice now. I remember of like weightlifters juicing. No, juice jacking with USB ports. What it is exactly what it is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of just giving you power, that connection can also try to access data. Now, is every charging station out to get you? No, no. But is it worth risking your entire phone, your email, your apps, your logins for a 10% battery boost? Also, no. So the simple rule is bring your own charger, use a battery pack, stay in control, plan ahead, try to avoid those USBs just in case. Now, let's take the same mindset. Let's walk it into your hotel room, right? You're at your hotel, you're running out the door, you think, I'll just be gone for a minute. Maybe even put the latch on the door to keep it from locking so you don't care, so you don't have to come back and worry about swiping with your card to get in. Be honest with you, I've done that before. Let me just run just some ice real fast, right? So you leave your laptop out, unlocked, right there on the desk. And guess what? It's not just your laptops. Think about your phone. You're at the beach. You want to go in the water. So what do? Leave your phone on the towel. Maybe under your shoes, so like some kind of high-tech security system, right? So yeah, no one's going to check under the flip-flop, right? Meanwhile, the phone has your email, your apps, your MFA codes, your saved logins. This is not just the phone, folks, anymore. Our phones are not just phones. They're our entire digital life. And all it takes is one person walking by, and now guess what? They've got it. Because, hey, it's a hotel, it's a public beach. What could go wrong here? Here's the thing. Hotels and public beaches are full of people, staff, guests, vendors. Now, all of them are there for the same reasons you are. So it only takes a few seconds, one open door or one unattended device. And now your quick trip to the pool just turned into a security incident. Same thing with social media. Just left for the beach, gone all day, cool post, terrible timing, right? Because now you've told the world, no one's watching my stuff right now. Here's the pattern: convenience, comfort, and routine. Guess what? That's where mistakes happen because the most risks don't feel risky. They feel pretty normal. And normal is exactly what attackers are counting on. All right, now here's the good news. You don't have to turn your vacation into a cybersecurity conference to stay secure. I did. Who wants to go on vacation and about cybersecurity? I really don't. But this isn't about paranoia. It's about a few simple habits, right? Things like use a hotspot or a trusted network. So you know what? Most cell phones nowadays, go on there, turn your hotspot on, touch your device to that, and let it go out if you need to, right? I would try to avoid public Wi-Fi if you can. And I know, like, cellular networks are going to be getting faster and faster. Definitely use a hotspot or a trusted network. Second, skip the random USB charging stations. I know this can be a pain too. We're out, we're like, hey, look, let's, oh, I'm down to 3%, 2%. I gotta charge real fast. It won't hurt. Yeah, it could. Don't. Have a battery backup. Plan ahead. Or guess what? Stay disconnected for 5 minutes. It ain't gonna kill us, right? Next, pause before logging into important accounts. Now, if you do, worst case scenario, if you do have to jump on that Wi-Fi, please don't log into your bank while you're on it. Do the bare minimum, right? Also, don't broadcast your location in real time, right? So think about it like this. You go, hey, at the airport, doing my thing, just what's unprotected right now. Everything else is not there with you. You're home, back home. You're on vacation, you're posting the pictures. Hey, I'm here. You're not home. People know that as well, right? And guess what? If you're on public Wi-Fi, if you have to go on there, no matter what, use a VPN. It helps protect the connection. But just remember, it's not magic. A VPN is sort of like sunscreen. It helps a lot, but you can still get burned, right? It doesn't fix the bad clicks. It just makes you a harder target. And guess what? Honestly, that's the goal. Because security while traveling, it's not about locking everything down. It's about making the fewer decisions in the moments that actually matter. You don't need to be perfect. Just less easy to hack than a person next to you. Sort of like you don't need to be able to outrun a bear, just to be able to outrun your friend. Same concept here. So go, enjoy your trip, relax, disconnect a little. Just don't completely turn your brain off. Because hackers, they're definitely still working. All right? So before you check your boarding pass, your battery, and maybe your Wi-Fi settings, let's take a look at what's inside CyberSecurity new this week. All right. What do we got going on this week? All right. So Real quick nerd update, and this one's all about making things cleaner and a bit smoother. So first up, our CSV imports, because let's be honest, nothing says great day like importing users and getting half their name. Sorry, that's fixed. Full names now come through correctly. So Jonathan Alexander Smith doesn't become Jonathan, right? And we also fixed that pesky, Dr. Jonathan versus doctor in the first name and everything else in the last name. All taken care of now. Also, if you re-add a user, they don't stay stuck in archive mode anymore. They come back like, I'm ready, let's do this, right? Fits that problem too. Next, Hootfish got a little language glow up. Clearer, more consistent, less of that, what does this mean energy that was out there. And behind the scenes, we tightened up how partner customer IDs are handled on the back end. And we also improved database efficiency, which means fewer weird edge cases, smoother migrations, everything just runs better, right? So nothing incredibly flashy this week, but a lot of, that's better. Now note, we are this close, wrapping up the passkeys. If everything goes to plan, I'd love to be able to get that deployed this Saturday. I have to talk to the team. I think we're just about there. We're going to confirm it and hopefully get it deployed. After those passkeys come out in the next week or two, worst case scenario, we're going to be working on a little UI update to Autopilot. It's going to be awesome. And then we've got tons and tons more stuff after that. So lots of great things still coming. Now that the things are running a little bit smoother behind the scenes and you know what's coming up, let's open it up for your questions. But first, got to throw my banner out there. Be the first to email vacation10 to shootthehoot@cyber.com and get 10% off your next invoice. Type it in, click send, and get that 10. If you're not watching live, no worries. Email us anyway. I may just give you the 10% off. I'm a nice guy like that. The only catch is you're only limited to one discount per month. All right? All right. Let's go into some questions here. Boom. All right. Let's open this up. So it's open to the floor if anybody has any. Of course, I always come prepared. So this is the part where I'm going to answer your questions and what everyone's actually thinking, but usually ask after something actually goes wrong. So I'm a little ahead of this, and so let's get ahead of this now. So our first question here. Is public Wi-Fi always bad or just risky? Great question, of course. It's not always bad. It's not always bad, but it's always untrusted. If it's not yours or a dear close friend you trust, it's untrusted. You don't know who set it up. You don't know who's on it. You definitely don't know who's watching it. Now, this is where the people typically ask, should I just use a VPN? And the answer is yes, but understand what it does. We mentioned this earlier. A VPN helps encrypt your traffic, which is great. It makes it much harder for someone on the same network to see what you're doing. But it does not stop you from clicking a phishing link, protect you from fake websites, or fix bad decisions. So instead of a VPN like this, it's a seatbelt. It helps, but you have to drive smart. All right. So the rule becomes, if you're on public Wi-Fi, 100% use a VPN. Avoid those sensitive logins when possible. As I said, no banks, no critical spots like that, and still pay attention to what you're doing. Because security isn't just one tool, it's layers of tools, right? All right. Our next question. Are airport charging stations actually dangerous? I know, I was thinking about this too with juice jacking. The short answer is they can be. Now, I know you can go around being paranoid saying, well, you can't trust the USB in the ports and the USB ports in the airport. I get it, right? But most are fine. But some can transfer data, not just power. And so instead of guessing, just bring your own charger or battery pack. I know, the risk is probably minimal, right? But still, just bring your own battery pack. Avoid them if you can, because free power isn't worth risking your entire device. I wouldn't take a chance. Bring your own power or plan ahead. Or, just stay offline for a few minutes until you get to a safer charging station, right? Now, question 3. What's the easiest thing I can do to stay safe while traveling? Love this question, always have. And honestly, just slow down. Pause before you connect. Pause before you log in. Pause before you click. I know. I'm preaching the pause again. Sorry, it's my jam. And it can actually help you stop from getting caught in the jam, right? So pause, please pause. Because attackers are counting on one thing, you being in a hurry. The moment you slow things down, the moment you break, okay, I'm on the screen here. Hey guys, sorry about that. The moment you guys slow things down, you break that attack, slow it down. You have to. That little bit of pause puts that concern in there. You'll break the attack instantly. So the goal here, it isn't to be perfect. It's just to be a little more aware. than the person sitting next to you at the airport, right? Now, if you think these risks don't actually turn into real problems, let me show you what happens when they actually do. Right, hide this, come back here. Let's go over to our Hoot-worthy horror story. All right, let's make this a little bit real. Back in 2018, Marriott International announced one of the largest data breaches in history. And this one hit travelers directly because attackers had been inside their systems for years. You get that? Years, not days, not weeks, not months, but years. And during that time, they were quietly collecting data from hotel guests. Can you imagine? Quietly sitting there just collecting data as team in. We're talking names, email addresses, phone numbers, passport numbers, travel details, payment information. Oh my. At the end of it, up to 500 million guests were affected. Think about that. You check into a hotel, you hand over your ID, you swipe your card, and just trust the system. Totally normal, totally routine. That's exactly why it worked. You didn't do anything wrong. There was no phishing email, no sketchy link, no weird pop-up, just business as usual. And behind the scenes, everything was being collected. So here's the takeaway. Not every risk comes from something you click or is under your control. Sometimes it comes from systems that you actually trust, places you stay, networks you connect to, devices you use. So when we talk about public Wi-Fi, hotel environments, travel habits, this is why. Because even when everything looks normal, you don't always know what's happening underneath, right? So whether it's your device, your network, or even the place you're staying, security doesn't take a vacation. So let's wrap this up. There's one thing to remember from today. It's this. Travel doesn't create new risk. It amplifies bad habits. You're moving fast. You're relaxed. You're trusting whatever works. And that's exactly what attackers are counting on. So whether you're on airport Wi-Fi, in a hotel room, at the beach, or just trying to get a quick charge, the rules don't change. Slow down. Stay away. Protect your stuff. Digital and physical. And remember, of course, that pause. Please pause, because most attacks don't look like attacks. They look like convenience, routine, and normal behavior, and that's why they work. You don't need to be paranoid. You just need to be a little more intentional than the moment. So go, enjoy your trip, relax, have fun. Just don't make yourself the easiest target in the room, because hackers, they don't take vacations. So if you got value out of this, share it with your team, your coworkers, or that one person who connects to every free Wi-Fi that's out there. So I appreciate you being here, sharing this cybersecurity journey with me. I have to go for now, but I'll see you next week on another episode of Shoot the Hoot Raw, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And, oh, I'll tell you my dad joke for the day, so I thought it was kind of cool. So last night, I just watched a documentary on beavers. It was the best damn show I've ever seen, right? Maybe not as good as this one, but it was a good damn show. All right, take care. Until I see you next week, laugh, learn, and hoot up. Hoot up!